troll?
Donald Trump.
Katie Hopkins.
Hey!
Donald Twitter? Oh, no, that doesn't make sense.
Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan. No, we've gone offshore, so it's not a Twitter thing, it's an offshore thing.
Do trolls live under oil rigs now? Who's that clip-clopping over?
It's Troll A. It's a gas platform in the North Sea's Troll gas field. It's the tallest and heaviest structure ever moved by mankind. It weighs over 1 million tonnes and it is taller than the Empire State Building. So...
Is it?
Normally, this is before it's been taken out...
Shut the front door.
I know! Taller than the Empire State Building. This is before it's been taken out to sea, so when it is out at sea, you can't actually see the central structures there. It takes 9 minutes to take the lift down the leg.
Whereupon you drown.
The singer Katie Melua received a Guinness World Record for the deepest concert ever given when she played 303 metres below sea level in the leg.
So they have a performance space at the bottom of the troll leg thing?
Yes, but
I think that shouldn't have got funding. I think they It's too much money in gas, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, I think it's strictly speaking called the dining room. It's not like a club. And you couldn't have a board outside saying what's on, because it would get washed off every now and then.
Would you not get the bends?
It'll be pressurised in there.
It's not only is it as a sub-aqua performance space, it has to be pressurised.
Yeah.
You can see why the boat remains the more cost-efficient way of having something on the surface of the sea.
Yeah.
Rather than it being on a huge concrete leg with a concert hall in it.
And when all that's done, is there a tiny little gas tap at the top like you had for a Bunsen burner? A million-ton structure, and then you go...
They use it like the cigarettes.
When we went for a cigarette at lunchtime at school, we went and stood round the back of the Shell garage. I shit you not. That was where we went for a cigarette. Go up the garage. And we go around and smoke on the forecourt.
Safety first. I love it.
So, what's the world's biggest river? And where is it?
Is it underwater?
It's a nice thought.
Amazon.
Oh! Hello, what? Hang on. There you go.
Nile.
Nile? Well, you just... No.
When you say biggest...
Yeah.
What do you mean? Widest, longest?
Carries the most water.
Carries most water.
You're going to be so angry. It's in the sky. They're called atmospheric rivers.
Oh, no, I've got to say, sometimes on behalf of the audience, I hate this programme.
I agree, and I'm really... This is hurting you far more than it hurts me. No, they're known as atmospheric rivers. They're vast ribbons of water vapour moving water around the world. They appear in different places, different times.
Are they the ones
kilometres
that
long.
are perfectly timed to coincide with bank holidays?
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah. They're the ones. 2,000 kilometres long and only a few kilometres wide. But although they cover less than 10% of the globe, 4 or 5 of them contain 90% of all the world's water vapour at one time. So the world's biggest rivers are in the sky. All right, I'm sorry about that. But seriously, name the world's biggest river that isn't in the sky.
Go on, Alan. Go on, Alan.
An actual river
that isn't
this time.
in the sky. No, that isn't in the sky.
Yes,
is it one of those ones that Alan's mentioned already? Do you think, maybe?
No, there is a river under the Amazon called the Rio Hamza, and it is actually bigger than the Amazon itself. It's only discovered in 2011.
The Rio Hamza.
Exactly, the Hamza.
Is it sort of hook shape?
A rather sad coincidence, I'm afraid.
River hated by the tabloids.
Hated by the tabloids. Yes. They collected data from 241 abandoned deep wells, and it runs 6,000 kilometres, like the Amazon above it, but is up to 4 times wider. And that's 200 to 400 kilometres wide.
How far down is it?
4 kilometres beneath the Amazon itself. I mean, some people say it's an aquifer, but it actually flows horizontally like a river. So and it is called Rio, which is river.
Do things live in it?
There's
There must be
always something,
organisms.
isn't
There's
there? No
usually.
matter how crap a place is,
Yeah.
Attenborough always goes, even here. Something very
When
stupid
something comes by.
has built his house. It doesn't matter.
The Muppets.
You go anywhere, wouldn't it?
The organism Muppet. With a little light on his head.
It's true.
And here they are mating.
It's absolutely true.
What's the biggest thing in the ocean that you've never heard of?
Oh. Well, I mean, we've never heard of it, so it's difficult for us to name.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, so
Should we
I'll
have a stab at it?
Yeah.
The shadow blare.
Yes, darling.
Blue whale.
I mean, they're astonishing, up to 98 feet, 170 tons, but I want one you've never heard of.
Red whale.
It's called the ocean sunfish, the common molar. It is essentially a giant head covered in mucus.
We've all been there. I went scuba diving one time in Australia, and when I got back on the boat, the pilot of the boat said, "Got a little bit of in your mask there, mate." And my mask was full of snot. I mean, it was an extraordinary amount of snot that I couldn't understand that had been in my head in the first place.
So you were like one of these? You were like one of these?
Yes, I was.
It's covered in
head
mucus.
Covered in mucus.
They spend most of their time sunbathing on the surface of the ocean. One of these adults can literally weigh a ton, and they grow to be 60 million times heavier than their larvae. So that would be like a human baby becoming an adult the size of 6 Titanics. They have a grey, round body and rough skin, feels a bit like sandpaper. The Germans call it the schwimmende Kopf, the swimming head. And they apparently have a permanently surprised expression. They have a mouth that never really closes. And they're very docile and very curious and friendly. Tierney Thies, who is the world's leading expert, describes them as goofy. She says that when she goes to try and tag one, they stick their fin out of the water and wave like going, "Hi, I'm over here."
The middle one looks like he's about to start a fight on a night out. He's like, oi, oi,
Apparently, they're just not aggressive in any way. There's only one human death attributed to a molar, and that's a man who was accidentally flattened by one leaping.
what size are they then?
About 6 foot by 8 foot, but really it's like having a car come at you. It's like a sort of Cadillac.
God, they are big, yeah.
These
Where would you find one?
Isle of Wight.
yeah.
In fact, the Isle of Wight is one big one.
They like it warm, darling.
Right, warm.
You're not going to find it around the British coast. They're very strong swimmers, and they can dive down to a fantastic depth, 2,600 metres. And the females produce as many as 300 million eggs at a time, but only 2 survive. Oh. Yeah. No. We feel bad. We're invested now in the motor.
It looks like it's not finished.
I think it's chopped a bit
just
off.
squeeze it in at the bottom there, that'd be fine.
It's like the good Lord went, that'll do.
Unfinished sculpture of a fish.
Yeah.
The biggest thing in the ocean that we'd never heard of used to be the molar, although now we know about it. That title will have to be passed on to something else.
What's the biggest mistake anyone's ever made with a pencil?
I say.
It's got to be a miscalculation or something.
Well, you did.
Yeah.
No,
Lead
no.
poisoning?
It's not
Steady.
a historical miscalculation.
No, it's astonishing. It took place in New York. In the 90s, I think it was. I'll tell you what exactly.
Was that the pencil there, Sandi?
I just
That's calculating with a pencil there.
I eased it in. I eased it in, and it was all fine.
Chapter 4. I eased it in and it was all fun.
1998, there was a problem with pencils.
Problem with pencils?
Pencil problem. There's no reason for you to guess what it was. It was pencils given to children.
Ah, drugs. Was it the one... Oh, it's...
Time for drugs.
It was, they printed for children pencils that said, do not use drugs on them. And when they sharpened them, eventually, it said, use drugs.
You're right.
Good, very good.
Here they are.
That's hilarious.
They say here, too cool to do drugs. You shave it, and it goes cool to do drugs. And then you shave it again, and it goes do drugs. There you are. It was a bit of a mistake, but well done, Sandy. So, other mistakes include, in 1945, the Arkansas legislature accidentally repealed all their laws at once.
With a pencil?
No, they had an act with the words all laws and parts of laws, and particularly Act 33 of the Acts of 1941, are hereby repealed. They just meant the particular one, but it legally meant all their laws. And then in 2003, the German agency responsible for TV licences sent a series of reminders to St. Walburga to pay her licence fee. She died in 777.
Never having paid for her life.
I didn't stop asking. And then in the Australian Morning Bulletin, which of course is called The Bully, they said there was an error printed in a story titled Pigs Float Down the Dawson on page 11 of yesterday's Bully. The story by reporter Daniel Burden said that more than 30,000 pigs were floating down the Dawson River. Actually, what the owner of the piggery said was that 30 sows and pigs. I'd like to apologise for the error. Who are Europe's biggest swingers?
Germans.
The Germans. Oh, dear. Here we go. Could be a long ride.
The Dutch.
The Dutch. That's an interesting one. Damn and curses.
Don't say any Scandinavian countries, whatever you do.
Very
do you mean
wise.
swingers like that swing from things?
I
or
literally
swingers
do,
that are married couples looking for some excitement?
Cunning you have seen through our ploy. It is indeed the more literal former, i.e. people
I don't know
who
anything about
use
that.
swings in a sporting way. They have...
I do about the other.
Yes. They have a national pastime which is called Kiking or Kiking. K-I-I-K.
Hungarians.
Oddly enough, it's one of only 2 other countries that has a language which is based on the same language as Hungary.
Iceland.
No.
Finland.
Finland is one of them. It's Estonia. Bizarrely, yeah. Estonia, Finland and Hungary are part of the Finno-Ugric linguistic
I had a
family.
UKIP leaflet came through the door saying that's how they're going to get in, using big swings. all of them, apparently. The whole lot. They're all just going to swing in.
Well, they will take up space in our parks, swinging in a way that we've never seen before. Behold, Kiking. They can swing better than we can, and you'll see something that we thought was impossible when we were children. You start off like that. You haven't got Daddy to push you.
He's not going to go round the top, is he?
He's not going to go over
Is he?
the top.
Surely he couldn't. Look at that big leg thrusts. Big leg thrusts at just the right moment. Hitting the resonance of the pendulum just at the right moment.
He's been to see Matilda.
Oops. Now he's higher. Come on, baby. There he goes! Yes! Wowza-rooney. And then nearly up then. So, that's the sport. Now,
That's tremendous.
The interesting thing is those arms, they are adjustable. So everyone has a go. When they've all done it at that height, you then extend the arms telescopically, bracket them up, and it's a bit like the high jump or something. All those who can't do it drop out until you've got a winner who's got the longest arm setting and has done a complete 360-degree turn.
You'd have to raise the height of the axis, though, wouldn't you? That would be very important.
Yes.
Otherwise... I mean, it's good to... It's nice to win, but...
No. Well put, absolutely. They look obviously immensely strong, and as you mentioned, the thighs are very strong, getting that real sort of kick in like that, because they haven't got Daddy
I'm imagining
pushing.
the thighs now.